I was out of the military probably 5 or 6 years, and I just noticed my health was diminishing. High cholesterol, tachycardias, my sleep was like 10 and a half hours, waking up multiple times a night. So my stress levels were high, my anxiety was high. I definitely know drinking Cardio Miracle consistently has helped me regulate my sleep, not to mention the cholesterol and the tachycardias, but the sleep and the stress are the big ones to kind of just get those energy levels back in a natural way without, using stimulants. Because coming from the military, we loved our caffeine and we would utilize
Oh, yeah.
caffeine as much as possible. And it got to the point where I would put caffeine in my body and I would just crash. I'd fall asleep. So
Wow.
there was obviously something not communicating in my system properly, working properly. So restoring, revitalizing, and healing my system was key. And I definitely know that working on the blood and the vasculature is so important because it runs through our entire body, our entire system, and every organ in our system is relying upon good blood flow. So if we can improve the health of that blood flow and the detoxification of that blood, we can improve many, many things throughout our entire system. I only did a scoop a day in the beginning because I kind of had trouble getting my hands on it, we'll say that. But when I was able to get to a day, I could tell the difference in my sustained energy levels. But the first thing I actually noticed was the tachycardias because when Elizabeth gave it to me, I was having a ventricular tachycardia. I always mess that word up, which
Oh,
is 220 beats a minute out of rhythm. And I drank it, and within about 5 minutes, it regulated my heartbeat back to normal. And I have been dealing with heart conditions since I was 12 years old with Wolff Parkinson's White. The nitric oxide specifically is the regulating molecule within our cardiovascular system. It regulated the rhythm and the heartbeat and improved the vasculature. Now, I haven't had a tachycardia in about 5 years, but I
wow.
know I'm not cured of it because sometimes my heart will skip and I'll go drink my glass and it'll completely cancel it out. So I know it's something I have to stay consistent on. My cardiovascular health is super important. Not to put fear in anybody, but it is the number one killer in the country and it is known as the silent killer. And that's because it just
Yeah.
kind of sneaks up on us. We're not really in tune with our cardiovascular system other than energy levels and diminished energy levels because the oxygenation of our brain and body is super important. So if we can facilitate that oxygen with nitric oxide, that's where we're going to see the increase in energy levels as well. If you know any veterans, go check out the Combat Stress magazine article that we have at cardiomiracle.com forward
Great.
slash studies. And, if you can understand the science, but if not, there's good backing of
Yeah.
science that supports the reduction of anxiety, stress, and cortisol within the blood, and that's through the arginine and ornithine ratios within the brain. Basically, if your brain utilizes those amino acids, you will start to feel those physiological effects of stress and cortisol much faster than if you're constantly trying to detox it out of your system. And I know, being a combat veteran, everything can kind of stress me out and release that cortisol. So I kind of want to stay on top of it.